Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. It was taking a little bit longer. I hope we are ready to go now. I hope we are ready to go. Okay. Let me just finalize the last bits. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay, give me one more minute, guys. Give me one more minute. Give me one more minute. Okay. I think we should all almost be ready to go. Okay. I think we are live now, and I think everything should be fine and everything is set up. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. It took a little bit longer. I had some technical issues, but I do believe that we are now ready to go. This is my first live stream. I really do planning on doing this more regularly. I think pre New York session, I really do like analyzing the markets at this moment of time. The fact that we are now trading prior to the New York session, and we've been trading already 3-4 hours into the London session, and I really do like when we are actually just trading right before the New York session. You will see volume will kicking in a little bit. So I'm pretty excited about this live stream. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys would like me to cover some currency pairs, drop them in the chat box, and we can go over it together. But before I start, and people that have been following me already for a while, they know the way that I trade, and I always look for the markets to seek liquidity. This is my number one rule: seeking liquidity. Seeking liquidity is so important. This is what the market is doing over and over and over again: seeking liquidity. So people that have been working with me already closely in the last couple of months, years, and they know what I mean with liquidity. People that are in the Discord and that have watched my videos, they also know what liquidity means. The thing is, we need to understand that myself, unfortunately, I don't control the market. If I buy Euro USD with 5 lots, for example, I'm not going to move the market. I'm pretty sure the people that are watching my stream, that you guys unfortunately are not able to move the market neither. So we need to understand that we are just small players, and there are the big players, institutions, banks, and they are actually the people that can move the market. And we also need to understand that the majority of the retail traders, I consider myself as a retail trader, the majority of the retail traders lose money. Yeah, still nowadays 60-70% of retail traders is still losing money, and that's mainly because they trade the traditional way, or the ways that's been taught, or the way they've been taught for years now. And there are so many YouTube videos and so many YouTube videos available that explain you how to trade trend lines, how to trade support and resistance. But I hope after this live stream that you guys will see that I don't trade that way. I actually do the opposite. And it's all because of the seeking liquidity aspect. Yeah, liquidity for me is seen as money of retail traders. So just imagine, yeah, I think the people that are watching my stream, you should be familiar now with support, with resistance. And if we know that we are creating a support, for example, so let's say that the trend is ranging. Yeah, so we have a ranging trend, okay, and we have some price action like this. Yeah, so then we can say, okay, cool, this is my base, this is my support. Yeah, so what many retail traders do, what many retail traders will do, is they will, after this so-called double bottom, yeah, they will anticipate long opportunities over here. Yeah, they will think, oh, it's a triple bottom, really strong support, really strong support. So what's going to happen? We are going to bounce from this level. But what we need to understand is that the majority of the retail traders, as I said before, is losing money. Yeah. So what the majority of the retail traders is doing is buying over here. And imagine if they buy over here, normally, and I hope that they all use a stop loss. Yeah. So if they use a stop loss, they will always place their stop loss underneath the support. So what I mean now with seeking liquidity, if big institutions know that retail traders have their stop losses over here, what do you think will happen? If institutions know that there is liquidity, money available, retail money is available, do you think they're gonna, and they can move the market, do you think that they are just gonna let the market run and let all the people that are long over here with stop losses over here to let them make their money? Remember, 60-70% of retail traders lose money, mainly because they use these kind of concepts. Mainly because they use this kind of concepts. So would it not be smart for institutions to grab the liquidity that's up here? And how can they do that? Simple. They manipulate the market. They trade lower, seek the liquidity. Again, liquidity, money, yeah, retail money, and then they will trade higher. Okay? And this is something that we can see over and over and over and over again. And this is one of the main things that I'm looking at. This is one of the main things that I'm looking at when I trade. I always ask myself, where is the liquidity? And I think this week was an amazing example. I'm now on the DXY. DXY, as I said, DXY is something that I use every single day. It's my Bible. Every single morning I analyze the DXY. Without the DXY, I'm not entering any trades. Yeah, I mainly trade Euro USD, GBP USD, but I always look at the DXY, and I always wait for a DXY dollar index confirmation before I enter any trade. So guys, the people that watched my videos earlier this week, I did mention that my target for this week is this level. I still believe that we will reach this level Wednesday, and we can see midweek reversal. But do you remember, so especially I'm now talking for the people that watch my videos, if you have not watched my video Monday, please, after this live stream, go and watch my video. I specifically mentioned that I was expecting a bullish move to then trade lower. And what we can see now is exactly what happened. Monday, Tuesday, we traded higher. Even into Wednesday, today's London session, we traded higher. So I do believe maybe in this afternoon session, we might trade a little bit higher, but then we might see that reversal that I was expecting to trade into this area over here. Okay, just let me delete everything. I'm going to delete everything. And I want you to understand this. Daily time frame. I'm on the daily time frame. If this is my high, and this is my low, yeah, and many people thought many people thought that we changed direction because we had low over here. Okay, we had low over here. Let me mark it up. We had low over here. We had a high. We had a lower high, and here we created a higher high. Okay, low, high, higher low, higher high. We are in a bullish environment. Yeah. Then we saw this break. And there were many people that were telling me, Jorne, we are now bearish on dollar index. Why? Because we did not respect this lower high. We created a new lower low. Okay. We can argue that we changed our bias from bullish to bearish because of this break. But look what happened. We just traded higher. And why do you think we traded higher? First of all, if we look at back 2022, in the beginning of the year, since the beginning of the year, we've been rallying. Okay, so I really need to see a bigger confirmation, a break of this before I anticipate any shorts on dollar index. But if we know now that, for example, and I will delete everything. So this was now seen as a kind of a break of structure, but we failed. And the main reason why we failed is because of this. We had a single high over here. We were overall really bullish. Yeah. What do you think the market was seeking here? Market is seeking liquidity. Remember, we have a high. I'm pretty sure there were people or retail traders that were selling over here, stop loss over here. What happened? We run through the liquidity. We grab the stop losses, and now we are shifting the momentum into bearishness. Okay, so we see the liquidity over here, and now this is exactly what I'm expecting going forward. If we are now on the daily time frame, where is the next liquidity? If I'm looking at the downside, then it's this wick over here. Because if we are still bullish, which we might be, if this is my low, this is my high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So many are now anticipating a higher high. But where is liquidity? People that were long over here have long orders, buy orders over here with stop losses underneath. Yeah. So now what I'm expecting, guys, now is dollar index to seek the liquidity that's beneath here. Yeah. So we see the liquidity up, and now I would like to see dollar index to seek the liquidity below, and ideally trade below this point as well. Okay. So that's something that we have to see. Seeking liquidity, and if we go now to 1 hour, and it's actually an amazing example. Look what happened. And let me go back. Let me go back for a second. Okay, so this was last week's price action. And we could see that we were forming trend line. We were forming a trend line. So we have people that are selling over here. We have people that are selling over here. People that are selling probably whenever we touch the trend line to sell. To sell a currency pair. But look now what happened. If I just fast forward a little bit, then what we can see is that, let me go a little bit quicker, a bit faster. Yeah, so we see we are still trading under the trend line, and what I was expecting now exactly happened. Okay, exactly that's what happened on Monday. We broke, cleared the liquidity. So just imagine that people that wanted to short here on the trend line, a really small stop loss above, stop loss got hit. Also, you have many people that trade the so-called the breakout. Yeah, so the break and retest. So whenever people saw here on the 5 minute, this is now on the 1 hour, but if we go on the 5 minute, then we can see a clear break. I think if I go now to the 5 minutes, then we can indeed see that we broke the trend line and then traded lower. So many people, and I'm pretty convinced that many people that saw this break of this trend line were going long. But I said before, the the big players and institutions, banks, they're always seeking liquidity. So they seek the liquidity, yeah, people that were shorting on the trend line or people that were buying after this break, and then they reversed. Okay, and then they reversed. I hope this is clear. Let me go back to the 1 hour. Let me go back to the 1 hour, and if we if we can look what happened, it's quite straightforward. Yeah, it's quite straightforward. Again, seeking liquidity. They seek liquidity, the trend line liquidity. Look at this. We had a triple top. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. How many people did short over here? Many. Where do they place a stop loss? Above. Stop loss is hit, we trade it lower. Where's the next liquidity? Well, I have a low over here, I have a low over here, we have a low over here. Seeking more liquidity to the downside now, because we seek the liquidity to the upside, now we are seeking liquidity to the downside. Liquidity seeked, liquidity seeked, liquidity seeked, bam. Okay, so this is very important, guys, and it might be a little bit overwhelming for some of you, but this is how I look at the markets. Yeah, I always look for that move, yeah, where the big institutions seek the liquidity and then eventually reverse. And think about it. Yeah, do you want to trade with the institutions or do you want to trade against the institutions? I rather trade with the institutions. Okay, so I hope this is clear. If there's something after this live stream that I really would like you guys to understand, then it's a whole concept about seeking liquidity. Okay, seeking liquidity. I'm gonna delete everything now. I'm gonna delete everything. Let me go back to the 4 hour time frame. So I said last week, or in my even on Monday, in my Monday video, I say we are creating a trend line over here. Yeah, we are creating a trend line over here. It would not surprise me that we are gonna trade higher to then trade lower. Why? We have liquidity above this high. We have liquidity above this high. We have liquidity above this high. Yeah. Okay. What did we see? We seek the liquidity. We seek the liquidity. We seek the liquidity. In an ideal scenario, I really would like dollar index, and that might be something that can happen this afternoon. I really would like to see dollar index to trade higher, yeah, to seek the liquidity that's above here and to maintain this high. I really would like dollar index to maintain this high. If we see that we can maintain this high and we trade, let's say, into 50% of this wick, then we might be able to look for short opportunities. Okay, imagine that we trade above. Where is our first target? Well, the lows, the previous lows that has been created. So this can be my target. This can be my target. People that have been following me already for a while, they will see here an imbalance. Yeah, and eventually the lows over here and the low over here. Do not forget that my ultimate target for this week is the imbalance area up here. Okay, so this is definitely something that I'm looking for. Imbalance area up here. So in the ideal scenario, I really would like to see something like that happening. Okay, we can trade higher, and don't get me wrong, we still can trade higher, because look at this, we have a really big wick over here. I don't even think that we traded 50% into 50% of this wick. I don't think so. Let me just have a quick look. No, we did not. So we might actually spike even higher into this wick area. We do also have a gap area over here. A gap area, you see gap, market close, market open, true gap. This is for me seen as true support, true resistance. We broke through, we failed to maintain the strength, to maintain that strength, to keep above the gap area. We trade lower, we trade back into this gap area, the retest, if you guys want to call it like that, and then trade lower. So for me, in an ideal scenario, I would just like to see one more manipulation to the upside to then trade lower on GBP USD. Okay. Let me just go quickly into the chat. Hi Mohammed, hi George. MJ1 Legends, glad you're here, mate. Marwan, hi, welcome. Can we have example about Euro AUD? Yeah, I will go over Euro AUD. Usually Euro flags are considered ugly flags. Flags is not something that I like to trade. I always, as I said before, if you were here since the beginning, Mohammed, you probably heard me saying seeking liquidity. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm always looking for the market to seek liquidity. Let me have a look at Euro AUD in a bit. But seeking liquidity, I don't really consider flags. I just cannot imagine that big institutions are trading flag patterns. Yeah, it would really surprise me. The same way that I don't really believe in stochastics, RSI, moving averages. Just imagine. Do you think that big institutions have their trade screens on and they enter a trade based on a crossover on the 150 daily moving average? I don't think so. So that's why I'm really not convinced about those patterns. Cool. You ready, Mohammed? Let me get back to you in a bit. DXY. I'm especially interested in GBP USD, and this is also something that I shared already before in my video on Monday, I think. Let me just delete everything. Let me just delete everything. And what I really do like here is the fact that we had this expansionary move over here. Yeah, so we had this expansionary move over here, and here we can see the strength of the GBP currency pair. Yeah, here we can see the strength of the GBP currency pair. But look at it, guys. If we go now back to the and the people that have been following me in the Discord 2-3 months ago, I did mention GBP USD. My final target for GBP USD is the 1.20 level. What did we do? We tapped into the 1.20 level, and now we can see a reaction. Yeah, it does not surprise me at all. If I go now to the weekly, and let's analyze the weekly time frame. If this is my low and this is my high, yeah, then we should not, if we are bullish, then we should not break below this low. Okay, we should not break below this low. But in case, and I'm gonna give an example here. Yeah, if this is my bullish trend, yeah, and let's say that this was my lowest point and this is my highest point. Okay, you guys should know by now that I always try to analyze the market in a way that the market will seek liquidity. If we look at this, where can we see liquidity? Where do we see liquidity? Where do you guys think that we can, or that the market will seek liquidity? Where are people buying? Or where are the people's stop losses? Yeah, that's even more important. Okay, we see a pullback over here. People probably buy. They might buy over here. They think, oh, this is my low. I will put my stop loss below. People that buy over here will put the stop loss below this bottom here. In the same way, a new bottom over here. People that are long will put the stop losses over here. So, in an ideal scenario for institutions and banks, if they know that there is liquidity up here, liquidity up here, and liquidity up here, where are they going to trade into? Where are they going to trade into? Trade into this liquidity area. Pull back. Trade into this liquidity area. Seek liquidity. Pull back. Trade into this liquidity area. If this is my low and we will maintain this low, and we will maintain this low, then we can expect a pullback. Then we can expect a pullback from this area over here to then create a new high. And again, even on the opposite side, we did create new liquidity. Where's my drawing? Here we are. We have liquidity up here. We have liquidity up here. So the market is going to seek again liquidity. They seek liquidity to the downside. Now they're going to seek liquidity to the upside. Okay. So bear this in mind, guys. Bear this in mind. It's all about seeking liquidity. And if we look now at GBP USD, this is an amazing example. It's really an amazing example. If we look at this, low, low, low. What do we say? Seek all the liquidity whenever we are at an extreme high. If we're at an extreme high over here, we trade lower, we seek the liquidity, pull back, seek the liquidity, pull back, seek the liquidity. Okay, and the fact that we seek this last liquidity point over here might be a sign that we can now reverse. Because if we have seeked all the liquidity to the downside, then we might try to seek the liquidity again to the upside. Okay. So if we know now from a weekly perspective that we are at extreme lows and my target of 1.20 has been hit, so we might see now a reversal. If we will see that reversal, and this is really from a macro perspective, then we will seek this high, seek this high, seek the highs over here, and ultimately create a new higher high. Am I saying now, guys, buy GBP USD? Not at all, not at all, because we might trade lower, and who knows, maybe we will seek the last piece of liquidity that's below here. But that would really surprise me. Okay, but let's go now to the daily, from a more intraday perspective, or even from a 4-hour, from a 4-hour perspective. I really do like what I see here. And I mentioned we have this expansionary move. We do have this expansionary move, and now we are consolidating. But look again, where do I have my liquidity points? We do have a high over here. Sorry. Okay, we have the equal highs over here. Perfect. We had a liquidity point, a single low over here. And that's what I mentioned in my Monday video, that we probably would seek the liquidity below. So we seek this liquidity, and now I really would like to see GBP USD reacting, or see a reaction from this area over here. You see, wick, we trade higher, we wicked even lower, and so again liquidity created, we seek this piece of liquidity and we trade higher. So this is my last, this is actually my point of interest where I would like to look for some buy opportunities. And I'm just going to mark up, it's actually better on the 1 hour, then we can see this wick over here, and I'm just going to mark this whole wick area. Okay, this is a don't get mistaken, guys, this is a 100 pip area, yeah, so I'm not going to place a limit here, and my stop loss over here, 100 pip stop loss is something that I rarely, or actually never use. Yeah? My stop losses are always between 20-25 pips. But the fact that we are approaching this area, we are still not here, so that's why I do believe that in the New York session now that we will probably trade lower. But this is what I'm looking at, to trade lower, because we seeked this liquidity. So we have liquidity up here, but we did seek the liquidity that was up here already. Yeah, so we have actually seek liquidity that was below here. Perfect. Okay, cool. So if we expect now a little bit more of bearish momentum in this area, then we might see that reversal happening, and that's something that I'm looking at, especially today, maybe into tomorrow. Midweek reversal. Don't forget, we've been trading downwards on GBP USD for the whole week, so it might be time now for the institutions to change their bias, and instead of selling GU, buying. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at the 15 minutes, if we can see something, because I still believe that we will trade lower. First of all, ask yourself the questions. Liquidity, yeah, where do we find those liquidity spots? Pretty clear. Yeah, we do have liquidity up here. Okay, we do have liquidity up here, and yesterday was an amazing play, actually. Look at this. We had equal highs. We run the equal highs. We traded lower, and this is my true break of structure. We traded lower, we traded higher again into the premium areas, to then trade lower. Okay, this could have been an amazing trade. But what I'm looking at maybe for today is, yeah, that we will seek this liquidity, but from an intraday perspective, in an ideal scenario, let me go back to the 1 hour. It's not really clear. Okay, I do see an imbalance. And I'm not going to explain what an imbalance is. If you would like to know more about the concepts, please join the Discord. I have the I did put the link below. Join the Discords. I speak about imbalances. I have videos that speak about imbalances. So yeah, this is my imbalance area. You see, we have a wick here. We have a wick here. Then we have the full body candle, This is my area where I would be looking for sell opportunities. Okay, as long as we do not tap into this blue area, I will be looking for selling opportunities. But then I ask myself, Jorne, yeah, are you willing to sell now? Well, am I willing to sell now? First of all, we're talking about 26 pips, okay, that we can potentially gain, which is not too bad. But then ask yourself, where are you going to put your stop loss? Where are you going to put your stop loss? Because if we look at this, this is fairly balanced price action. This is fairly balanced price action. So that means whenever we trade higher, we are just going to run through this area. What did I say in the beginning? We always try to seek liquidity. Where's the money? Where are the retail stop losses? Where is the money? Well, probably above here. Okay, probably above here. So in an ideal scenario, what I would like now is GBP USD to trade higher into this imbalance area. Remember, imbalance area on the 4 hour, if I'm not mistaken, exactly on the 4 hour, to then trade lower. Okay, to then trade lower. So this is definitely something that I'm looking at for GBP USD. Ideal scenario, we trade higher as long as we do not hit this area over here. Okay, hope this is clear. I'm just gonna go over Euro USD as well. Okay, yesterday I did share a buy opportunity on or buy trade ID in the Discord, but it was a stop loss, unfortunately. And if I look back at it, was a bit bitey actually, but it was a stupid stop loss, because I do remember in my video on Monday I said, okay, what are we targeting? Exactly the same over here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Amazing example. We had a high over here. What did we do? We seek liquidity. We trade higher. We have a new high over here. Okay. And what did we do? We seek the liquidity again. We seek the liquidity again into what? Into this mitigation area. I'm not going to explain what mitigation is. Again, feel free to join the Discord to learn more about mitigation and balance. So this was my mitigation area. We tapped into the mitigation area and now we could see the sell-off. Again, what do we target? Well, easy targets, right? This is fairly balanced price action. Yeah, so we know if we break lower, we are gonna seek liquidity up here. But look at this. We do have this single low over here. We do have this single low over here. We do have this single low over here. So these are all targets. These are all targets, and exactly the same what we could see on GBP USD. On Euro USD on the 4 hour, we do have this imbalance area as well. Yeah, we do have this imbalance area as well. So definitely something that I'm looking at. So we might see a pullback into this area to then trade lower, to do what? To seek liquidity. It's all about seeking liquidity. So this is the play, or this is what I'm looking at for Euro USD later this afternoon. Okay, Euro USD later this afternoon. Same with GBP USD. So think about it. If I am bearish GBP USD and I am bearish Euro USD, what does that mean for the dollar index? If I'm bearish Euro USD and I'm bearish GBP USD, what does that mean for dollar index? Will we trade higher on dollar or will we trade lower? So if we are bearish, that means that we are looking for sells on Euro USD and GBP USD. That means that we think that dollar will be gaining strength. Okay, so dollar will gain strength. So that's something very important for us to take into account. Dollar index, if we know that dollar is going to gain strength, well, it's not really surprising. Why? Because that's what I said, guys. We are still seeking liquidity up here. And now in an ideal scenario, what I really would like to see is for dollar to trade lower, to seek the liquidity that's below here. Yeah, we have liquidity here. We have a new liquidity point up here. So I really would like to see dollar to trade lower this afternoon. Dollar to trade lower into this area and then have a final push up, yeah, into this wick area over here. This is something that I'm looking at for dollar index this afternoon. Seek liquidity here, seek liquidity here, seeking liquidity to then reverse. So sell to buy on dollar, GBP, buy to sell, Euro USD, same, buy to sell. Okay, I hope you guys see the correlation, and that's one of the main reasons why I use dollar index as one of my main confluences. Yeah, it's my Bible. I do analyze the dollar index every single day, and I never enter a trade on euro or on cable if I do not know where dollar index is heading towards to. Okay, cool. Let me go to the chats. One of MG1 Legend team member. Hi Mahmoud, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Euro AUD, cool. Euro AUD. Let me go to Euro AUD. Euro AUD. Okay, there we go. So can we have example about Euro AUD? Usually Euro flags are considered ugly flags. Okay, so as I said, I do not trade flags. Yeah, I do not trade flags at all. I do not trade flags at all. But just okay, just for you guys an example. This is a 50-minute time frame. Why it is important to understand seeking liquidity. Okay, seeking liquidity. Look at this. We have liquidity to the downside. We have liquidity to the upside. We seek the liquidity to the upside, and then we seek liquidity to the downside. Perfect. Okay. Here. Look at this. We have a new low. And we do have a new low. And we do have a new high. Liquidity low, liquidity high. Here. So what should happen now? What should happen now? What should happen now? If you know that there is liquidity here and there is liquidity up here. What should happen? Seeking liquidity, right? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bam. Okay, we seek liquidity. We seek liquidity here. What happened mainly after seeking liquidity? What happened after seeking liquidity? We wait for a confirmation to trade higher. Yeah, we can see already some bullish momentum kicking in. Bam. That's exactly what we could see. Yeah. There we go. Seek liquidity to the downside, and then again seeking liquidity to the upside. Okay, you see this is Euro AUD. So I'm not trading flags, I just try to figure out where the liquidity is. Yeah, and after running out this liquidity point over here, then we could anticipate a run up into this areas to seek the liquidity up here. And I mean, this is Euro AUD. This is actually an amazing move. I don't think we could catch the low, but at least maybe a retracement, especially after this accumulation area. So let's say that we got in somewhere over here. I mean, we are talking about a 95 pip trade into this high. So that's very decent. Yeah, that's very decent. So yeah, let's see where we are now with Euro AUD. And again, so we have now we are now creating more liquidity. I'm going to delete everything, remove drawings. I'm going to delete everything. So we do have now liquidity up here, liquidity up here, liquidity up here. Okay, this is my new high. So these are my liquidity points. Okay, always mark the liquidity points. Let's see what's going to happen. Bam. Okay, we seek liquidity here. We seek liquidity here. We seek the liquidity here. Okay, we still have liquidity up here. So what can we expect? What can we expect? Look, we did even trade deeper. We did even trade deeper because we had a last liquidity point up here as well. And look what happened. We seek the last liquidity. Then we could see a reaction. We have some accumulation going on over here, and then we expanded higher. And yeah, from this perspective, what are we seeking? Again, this high, this high, this high, as I mentioned before, this high, and what did we do? We traded back into this area. Yeah, we trade back into this area to seek liquidity. So fair enough. We are now trading here with Euro AUD. Not sure, Mohammed, if you are looking to enter trade idea or to enter trade on Euro AUD. If I'm looking at Euro AUD now, and I know that we seek the liquidity up here, yeah, I actually would be looking now at some sort of pullback, because we have still this liquidity point up here and this liquidity point up here. So we seek liquidity to the upside. So now we are going to seek liquidity to the downside. So if I'm looking now at Euro AUD, I would be looking at something like this. Okay, I know there are the people that have been following me already for a while know why I'm looking at this candlestick over here. Yeah, and then I would target this. So this can be a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. Yeah, this can be a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. It's not something that I'm gonna take. I really try to stick to the dollar pairs, but this is definitely something that I'm looking at. Okay, this is definitely something that I'm looking at, and yeah, that might be something, Mohammed, for you that you can look at it as well. So as you see, Euro AUD, I don't trade flags. It's a complete different way of looking at the market. I just know that big institutions don't trade flags. They are always looking to seek liquidity, yeah, to get as many stop losses of retail traders as possible, and then reverse. Okay, so exactly what happened here. We seek the liquidity, so now we might expect that reversal. Okay, is there, let me go back to the chat. Is there someone else that would like me to go over a currency pair? If not, then I think I will leave it for now. I will go more live, guys. I will do more analysis. I just wanted to make sure that liquidity and the concept of liquidity and seeking liquidity is clear for everyone. I do hope that it's clear now. And whenever I go do another live session, then we can actually see to maybe enter some trades as well, to trade live. Let me just have a quick look before I jump off the stream. What we can see on dollar. Yeah, but that's the thing, it's reconsolidating, and I really do believe that the major move is going to happen. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but next week or in the next 2 weeks, I really do believe that we will see a big shift in momentum in dollar index. I don't say that we are now trading at the top and that we will sell off in the next couple of months. It might be, but I'm really mindful, because let me just delete everything. And if I go back to the weekly, then we can see that we are at extreme levels. Yeah, we are at extreme levels, and just look at it. We had liquidity up here. And what did dollar index do? We run the liquidity. So there is nothing left. Yeah, there is nothing left. And the fact that we look at this, this is, I mean, we are talking about 2022, 2002, 2003. Yeah, 2002, 2003. So this is really the early stages of the sell-off. You know, we could see a decent sell-off after this, but we have been consolidating almost for half a year. Yeah, we have been consolidating here for half a year, and we are now actually trading in this area. So if I mark up this area, so this is my area, the accumulation area. So then we can see that we are now actually trading into this manipulation area. So I mean, the last time that we were so high on dollar, just think about it. It's 20 years ago. So the last time that we were trading so high on dollar was 20 years ago. So I just don't think it's sustainable. And the Federal Reserve, I mean, now I'm talking from a fundamental perspective, something else. It's another topic of conversation. But they really have to do something. And I don't think that they want their own currency to be so strong. Yeah. So they definitely have to do something. And that's why we really might see a shift in momentum on dollar. As I said, might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but within the next couple of weeks, we should have some more clarity. And maybe going into Q4, we might start seeing a very nice sell-off on dollar. And yeah, I mean, if we get that $7 index, then we perfectly know what we have to do on GBP USD and Euro USD. Okay. So yeah, now for today, as I said, it's very choppy price action. Yeah, that's why what we can see, if I see dollar, for example, seeking liquidity the last bit up here, then I might look for short opportunities. But I still hope. Yeah, I still hope. I mean, trading is not about hoping, but in case that we trade lower, then I will be looking for buy opportunities in this area over here. Yeah, then I will be looking for buy opportunities in this area over here. Okay, so let me know what this means for GBP USD. If you guys want to take screenshots, go ahead. I'm just thinking that we might trade a bit higher on GBP USD to then trade lower. Euro USD exactly the same. Trade higher to then trade lower. Okay. So I will leave the stream for now, guys. I don't think there are more questions. Oh, Mohammed, do we take a trade with risk higher than 50 pips? It's all up to you. Yeah, it's all personal. The most important thing is risk to reward. Yeah, the most important thing for me is risk to reward, and I always try to find trade opportunities with at least a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk to reward. Because just imagine that you enter 10 trades, Mohammed. Yeah, imagine you enter 10 trades, and you use a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So for every 10 pips that you, or for every, let's say, 50 pips that you risk, your potential gain can be 50. And imagine, yeah, that you lose 7 trades out of those 10 with a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Will your account be up or down? Your account will be down, yeah. But if you lose 7 trades, out of 10, but you use a 4-to-1 risk to reward, so you only win 3 trades. Yeah, but you use a 4-to-1 risk to reward, so that means that your potential return is 4 times higher as your potential loss. That means that you will still be in a very good position and your account will be in decent profit. Even though you lost the majority of your trades, if you use your risk management and you use the risk to reward into your favor, make the math. Okay, so if you're telling me now that do we take trade with risk higher than 50 pips, you can, but then you have to ask yourself, am I gonna gain 200 pips? Because if you're aiming for a 4-to-1, yeah, and you risk 50 pips, that means that you will try to gain 200 pips to have that 4-to-1 risk to reward. So it's up to you. Yeah, so in an ideal scenario, I never, and then the people that I'm working closely with, they know that I rarely use a stop loss bigger as 20 pips. 20 pips is my max, especially on Euro USD, GBP USD. Sometimes, I mean, last week I did share trade IDs with a 5 pip stop loss with a 20 pip gain. Might not sound that crazy, but still the risk to reward is the same. Yeah. True, I don't trade less than 1 or 2 or higher. Perfect, and even try to switch from 1 to 2 to the 1 to 3 or the 1 to 4, because still, if you use a 1 to 2 and you lose 7 trades and you win 3, I mean, it's not going to be as beneficial as you use a 1 to 4 because then you can lose many more trades as you win, but in the end your overall account balance will be in decent profit. Okay. Cool. Any more questions? Yeah, I just hope, guys, that you all enjoyed this stream. Feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. Every single morning I make pre-loaded session videos. They're all available in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord yet, please join. So many free content available. I do have my own educational course in there as well. So it might be easier if you watch the educational course to understand the concepts that I'm explaining here. But yeah, I will leave it for now. I just hope that you guys got something out of this live stream. Do never hesitate, also in the Discord, if you join, to say hello, ask your questions to me or to the other traders that are already in the Discord. Feel free to ask your questions. In the end, we all have one aim, and that's to become a profitable trader. So yeah, we are here to help each other out. And I think that's the most important thing. So yeah, guys, I will leave it for now. I hope you all enjoyed it, and let's see each other in the Discord. And if not, yeah, let's see each other in the next live stream. Have a good, guys. Bye bye.